Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today we have learned a little bit more about what is going to be in Battlefield 4. And just to kind of jump on in here, we now know that Sniper Glint is a confirmed mechanic. I kind of kept my eye out for it for a couple of days now, and I couldn't find it. I thought that they completely removed it from the game, but then I finally spotted it, and it's not as bad as what it was in Battlefield 3, which is great because I felt like in Battlefield 3, and I'm sure a lot of you recon players out there would agree with me, it basically is just this gigantic beacon or flashlight at the end of the barrel, and it made it a little bit too easy for enemy players to spot you out. But now it seems to be a lot less ridiculous, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. You still want to make it so that players can see recons way off in the distance who are trying to shoot you from a mile off. That's why they have it in place. But in Battlefield 3, it always kind of felt like it was a little bit too overboard. We also learned a little bit more about their perk system, or what they're calling field upgrades. You probably noticed in the multiplayer demo, there is that little bar on the left-hand side of the screen that has kind of the same perks that we would have in Battlefield 3. It has sprint, ammunition, grenades, and that bar was filling up and decreasing, and no one really had any idea how that would function. And apparently, what DICE has done here is they've created a system that you can kind of pick and choose what perks you want in a row, and as your team, as your squad completes objectives, as you revive, as you give ammunition to your squad mates, that bar is going to fill up, and then once it reaches a certain point, you are going to receive that benefit. So let's say you start off with squad sprint, you'll have that throughout the entire match, but then let's say your squad goes and captures a bunch of objectives, it will fill up, and then you will have increased ammo. And essentially, this is DICE's way at trying to promote teamwork amongst your squad. You'll still be able to do the whole lone wolf thing if that is what you desire, but you won't be getting the full benefits of all your specializations. You won't be able to fill that bar up by yourself. You will literally need to play as a team, and so I like that aspect of it. But not only that, but this also kills two birds with one stone because it's their solution to perk stacking. You guys have probably experienced this in Battlefield 3 many times, where your entire squad apparently thinks it's a good idea to all run squad ammo, and it gets a little frustrating when that happens because you would kind of like the other benefits of the specializations. But now with the field upgrades, the way it will work is that you don't share the same specializations, but you share the same progression bar. So let's say, for example, you want ammo, sprints, and then grenades just kind of in a row, and then you unlock them as things go. Your ally or your squad buddy could have grenades first, and then sprint, and then ammo. And so you guys will unlock things differently, but you'll all unlock them at the same time as you do these field objectives. We also learned a little bit more about customization and the knives that are going to be in the upcoming game. We only have two options, or at least from the demonstration that they have, which is the normal knife and a shank. And the shank is described as an improved melee weapon for taking down enemies in close quarters and to steal their dog tags. I'm not exactly sure at this point how it's an improved melee weapon for taking people out at close quarters, because that's kind of what I would assume a normal knife's description would be, but it potentially, what kind of my thoughts are, is that they will all function slightly differently. So maybe the shank will be a little bit faster at taking out your target, so that it's better at maybe getting frontal knives off, and it may be making it harder for them to counter knife you, but you need to be standing a little bit closer to your target. And the normal knife will have maybe a longer range. It's kind of hard to say at this point because a knife or a shank is meant for close range, and so what do they mean by that? I'm sure we'll find out in the near future, but I'm also just kind of interested to see what kind of knives that they come up with and what knives will be at our disposal when the game launches. And the final thing that I wanted to mention is that weapon camos are seeing a huge overhaul. As you guys can see with this nifty little screenshot, there are over 10 options just on this one weapon, and this is just the pre-alpha version. I'm sure there's going to be even more. And one of the kind of the complaints with Battlefield 3 is that there isn't a lot of weapon camos in the game. I mean, they came out with some stuff for premium content, but even that was a little bit disappointing. But it's clear that DICE has listened to the community. everyone wanted more camos, and it looks like they are truly going to deliver. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. So until tomorrow, have a good one, and take it easy.